there, my name is Bowie. I use they, them pronouns. Welcome to your training session. If you are new to training, it's good to have you join us. I hope you maybe find something here that you are interested in learning about, or it's something new that you haven't done before, or maybe you discover something new about your body and what you're able to do, and that is awesome. If you are coming back because you've trained with us before, welcome back. It's really cool to have you join us again, and thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for following us, and thank yourself. Thank you. Thank you for moving you, because that is a good thing for you. And before we begin, I want to acknowledge that these videos are recorded on the stolen lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Sovereignty never was and never will be ceded, and I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I also want to take a quick sec to thank Drum Street Services and Queer Space for rocking it, doing the rad things that they're doing, helping out our community by giving them all good support out there on the ground, giving food, giving access to the needs that they have needs for, and for supporting us so we can bring stuff like this to you. Yes. Thank you, friends. Alrighty, we're going to begin our session with a warm-up. So we're going to be with our necks here. You're going to take your hands, either put them at your sides, palms against the outsides of your legs, or hands behind your backs, either one. And you're going to tilt your ear down towards your shoulder, to the left and to the right, just getting as far as you can get. Doesn't matter how far that is, it's wherever you can get to, and that is perfect. That's it. We're going to keep it nice and controlled here. Keeping your shoulders down is really important. We don't want to bring our shoulders up to our ears. That's it. One more each side. Amazing. We're going to take our chin now. We're going to point it up towards the roof and then tuck it down towards our collarbone. Just getting as close as you can get. Doesn't matter where that is. Pointing your chin up, tucking it down. Again, keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. Nicely done. We're going to move on now to taking our chin again, and we're going to bring it as close to our shoulder, whichever side, doesn't matter, as we can. Bring it back to center, and then we're going to go to the opposite side. It's taking time here. We're not forcing anything, getting to wherever you can get to without putting pressure on your neck to get further. And it may not be very far, and that is okay. And making sure that it's just your head turning here as well. You don't want to be turning at the hips. You don't want any movement in your shoulders. One more each side. Glorious. Moving down to our shoulders now. Two options. If you have shoulders that don't feel great moving in big ranges, you're just going to do a nice little shrug. Shrugging it backwards and shrugging it forwards, one side and then the other. If your shoulders don't mind moving about a bit, you're going to take a straight arm, pass it back up past your ear and around behind you. It's like a windmill, but with control, nice and slow. We're going to do 10 backwards, 10 forwards, then swap sides, do exactly the same thing. So whether you're shrugging or windmill arming, let's go. Feel good about having a little twist in your hips here as you pass your arm back. It's really hard to do this while keeping your torso like forwards, and you don't want to. We want to let a bit of natural movement happen in our body. I think that's about 8. We'll do 2 more anyway. Close enough is good enough. That's it, and then we're going to bring it forwards. Exact same thing. We want control the whole time here. There's no spinning. We're not actually spinning our arm without control. We're lifting it up, passing it over, lowering it down. We want to make sure we're using all of those shoulder muscles that we've got the whole time we're doing this. We'll do 3 more. Last one. Amazing. Swapping sides, we're going to do the exact same thing. Starting going backwards, whether you're shrugging, whether you're windmill arming. Again, letting that rotation come through your hips here as you turn your arm. Great, and now forwards. Very nice. Moving to our wrists now. Tucking your elbows into your sides, you're just going to circle your palms towards yourself here. We're going to go for about 10 circles with our palms circling towards us. And then 10 away. Nice. Bringing it down now to our hips. We're going to put our hands on our hips here because it gives our hands a job and they don't dangle about in an awkward manner, making the whole circumstance a little bit more awkward than what it already is. Feet are going to be probably just a little bit wider than your hips. You don't want to go too narrow here or you will probably tip over. Not fun, friends. So you're going to push your hips forwards as far as you can. Reach them out to the side. Stick your butt out at the back. Feels weird, it's okay. Round to the side again and back to the front. Nice. We're going to do 10 circles like this. Oh my gosh, feel free to make noises. Oh, especially through spots that might be a little bit sticky. It's okay. Noises are helpful. Trust me. Easier than trying to hold them in. You'll be like, oh my gosh. Ooh. Yep. Oh, stretching things. It's okay. We're going to do 2 more. Nice and slow. This is a really great one when we've been spending so much time sitting down. Oh, let's go back the other way now. Yes, you might be feeling clicks and pops. You might not even have smooth circles. You might have an octagon or something like that going on because your butt muscles might be a bit tight, and that's okay. Just working through as best as you can. Oh, yes. So relieving. Keeping it controlled here. We're going to do 2 more. Last one. Oh. Bringing our feet closer together now. We're going to come either feet completely together or just a little bit apart. Hands are going to rest on the tops of our knees. Not your body weight though. If you can't take your hands away, you're leaning too much on your hands. So imagine like you're trying to half sit down in a little chair here. So you want that bend in your knees. You're going to circle around to one side, straighten your legs up at the back, push them around to the other side. Nice, slow circles here. We're not going to get too far in that sideways motion, and that's okay. Our knees are not designed to go sideways very much. That's it. I'm going to do 3 more. Last one. And then we're going to go back in the opposite direction. Yes. Finishing off with our ankles here. So if you need to have something to help you balance as you do this, because we are going to be on one foot, totally do that. You could use a wall, a broomstick, back of your couch, a kitchen counter, doesn't really matter. Something, if you need to help with balancing on one foot, totally do it. It's what you've got to do, then it's what you've got to do. We're going to do 10 circles inwards. And then 10 circles outwards. Nice, and then we're going to swap sides. And then back the other way. Nice. All right, friends, we're finishing this warm-up up on the floor. So I'll meet you down there. Here we are, friends, the floor. Let us continue our warm-up. You're going to come to your hands and knees now. You're going to bring your knees to under your hips and your hands to under your shoulders. You're going to curl your toes under and sit back onto your heels here. And you're going to rock forward. So this one might take a little bit of hand adjusting. Bring your hands forward so that you can come forward and gently drop your hips down. Sit back, rock forward. Sitting back, rocking forward. Just like that. As you rock forward, feel good about squeezing your butt. Might feel a bit weird, but it helps to keep your lower back a bit safer. That's it. And if you need to put some padding or cushions under your knees because it can be uncomfortable, do that. We're going to stay sat back on our heels now, looking up and down. That's it. And go left and right. That's way. And finishing off, you're going to bring your hands forward. Keep those toes curled under. You're going to lift your knees up off the floor. Push your hips towards the roof. Push your heels down towards the floor. And then come forward. Yes. Pushing back. And forward. Last one. That's it. And we are warm. Alrighty, friends, grab yourself a sip of water, have a breather. We're going to be back starting our first 7-minute interval. See you in just a moment. Here we are, friends, our first 7-minute interval. This round is going to run for 7 minutes. During this time, we're going to work through 3 different exercises. The first one is going to be dishing, which is a core movement. Our second movement is going to be a chest raise, which is going to focus on our back. And our third movement is going to be a quarter turn, which is a plank variation. I'm going to talk you through these, particularly the first time we go through, and then from there, follow on at whatever pace that feels good for you. You can go faster, you can go slower, you can just match me. Doesn't matter. We're going to use my trusty green wristwatch here to count us down for the 7 minutes so that we know exactly when we need to stop doing the movements. So I'm going to start the clock now. We're going to work through the first one together, so I'm going to explain everything to you, and then we'll just go from there. Alrighty. Buzz. Our first movement is going to be dishing. This is done on your back, so if you're not on your back, jumping down, you're going to have your legs out straight. Your hands are going to be by your sides here. And what you're going to do, you're going to bring your legs together, you're going to squeeze them tight. You're going to squeeze your butt, you're going to take your hands, you're going to reach them down towards your toes, and at the same time, you're going to try and sit your feet up off the floor as high as you can. And this is called dishing, and we're going to hold this. It doesn't matter what height you're at, we're holding. This one's tricky. And relaxing. You didn't have to have held that the whole time. So if you laid down sooner, totally okay. That one's a little bit of a challenge, so don't worry too much about that. Our second movement, chest raise, it's on our back. So if you come over onto your stomach here, hands are going to be on the floor, just in front of your chin, tops of your feet on the ground. We're going to really slowly just raise our chest up off the floor as high as we can. Hence the name chest raise. Coming back down. I'm going to go for 10 here. You can squeeze your legs and squeeze your butt if you like, as it helps to make this a bit easier. And I think that's about 10. Close enough. Finishing off with our quarter turn. Now 2 options here. You can either go from your knees or you can go from your toes. Whatever you feel good about doing. Well, either way, hands are under our shoulders, body is nice and straight, and we're going to just step, step. 2 steps out to one direction, step, step, and then back to the beginning, coming out of it. And that is our quarter turn. So these 3 exercises, friends, we've got another 5 minutes to work through. So at your own pace, following me, whichever you like. I'm going to come back over. We're back at the top with our dishing. This is a tricky one. Feel good about it if you like, of just bending your knees, planting your feet, and bringing your shoulders up off the floor. This way totally works as well. When you're ready, we're going for 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. If you're following me, we're going right now. No, it's fine. Got this. Squeeze your legs. Even if your feet are on the ground, squeeze your legs. It's all good. And coming back down. Great. Sitting yourself up so that we come over onto our stomach. Hands under our chins, crossed, tops of the feet on the floor. When you're ready, raising your chest off the floor. Nice and slow, just getting as high as you can get. Wherever that is for you is perfect. That's it. One more. Very good. Coming up into our knees or onto our toes, whatever works for you. We're taking 1 step, 2 steps out, 1 step, 2 steps back, coming down. It's the second time through. Again, just working through your own pace here. We're not in a rush. We're not trying to pump it out unless you want to, in which case, definitely do that. We're back onto our backs for our dishing. Legs straight out in front, arms by our sides. Again, if you want to plant your feet for this one, have them on the ground, knees bent. Rock that, friend. Whatever works for you. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Go for 10 seconds. Good thing I've got a watch. Relaxing. Coming over onto our stomach. Rest as you need here as well. You don't have to just continually be working through these exercises just because I am. So take your time, have a breather, rest as you need. Do what feels good for you, friends. When you're ready, hands come to the front of your chin. And we're going for 10. This way. Coming up. Hands come to under our shoulders. Coming onto our knees or toes. Doing our 2 steps out and back with our quarter turn. 1, 2, 1, 2. Amazing. Working through these pretty zippy. We've got just on 90 seconds to go. Coming onto your back, legs out, arms by your sides. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. If you're going for your legs up, try and keep them as straight as you can. It's okay if you get a little bit of a bend. It is what it is. And we're back down. That one is toughy. Over onto your stomach. We've got less than 60 seconds, friends. Keep it going. Just nice and slow. In your own pace, nice and steady. That's it. That's it. 2 more. Hands come to under the shoulders, stepping our legs up behind us or coming up onto our knees. Everything's nice and straight. And let's go. 1, 2 steps out. 1, 2 steps back. Taking as smaller steps as you need there. Don't feel like you've got to take massive steps. Oh, we're going to finish up here. That's good. We're right on our 7 minutes. Buzz. Well done, friends. So have a sip of water, have a breather. We'll be back for our second 7-minute round in just a moment. Here we are, friends, our second 7-minute interval. For this interval, we'll be working through my magical green wristwatch is going to count us down for 7 minutes. We're going to work through 3 movements. First one is going to be a duck under, which is a squat variation. Our second movement is going to be a fire hydrant, which is on the floor, working the sides of our butts. And our third movement is going to be a hip bridge. Again, the butts. This is butt round. So get ready, friends. Ready for 7 minutes of butt round. The watch is going to count us down. I will walk you through the first time through with these exercises, explaining how we do each one. And then after that, feel free to rock it at your own pace with however fast or however slow you want to go. Rest as you need. Don't have to follow along to me. You work with what feels good for you. Alrighty. I'm going to start our timer, counting us down from 7 minutes. And we're going to go with our first movement, which is a duck under. So for this, we want our feet just a little bit wider than hips. Toes are going to be slightly outwards. This is going to be different for everyone, so find what width feels good for you. Just don't go narrower than hip width, otherwise it gets really tricky. What we're going to do, hands are going to come in front of our chest. We're going to shift our weight to one side, doesn't matter which side you start on. You're going to bend your knee and we're going to duck, like we're ducking under a bar or something here, like a tree branch perhaps. We're going to just go back and forth, shifting our weight from our left to right, ducking under our invisible tree branch. We'll do one more. That's it. And we are done. We're doing just 6 of those. Now we're going to come down to the floor. We're going to do a movement called a fire hydrant. For this movement, hands and knees here. So our hands are under our shoulders, knees under our hips. We're going to shift our weight gently to one side. Again, doesn't matter which side that is. Preference is all yours. We're going to take one leg, we're going to raise up with the floor, lift it to the side as high as we can, and back down. I'm going to go for 6 of these. You see why it's called a fire hydrant now? That's it. Just getting as high as you can with this leg, doesn't matter how high that is. It's going to be different for everyone. One more. We certainly don't have to match my height. And we're going to shift our weight to the opposite side now. We're going to do exactly the same thing on our other side. Just nice and slow. We don't want to swing our leg up. Very much raising it up with control. One more. Great. We're finishing off, coming over onto our backs for a hip bridge, or a glute bridge, also known as. You're going to plant your feet on the floor, press down with your heels, gently tuck your pelvis, press your hips up. We're going to get to a point where our hips are just level here. We don't want to go past this. This is fine, and we're just going to hold for 10 seconds. Driving down through your heels, you want to be feeling it the backs of your legs and in your butt. So really feel good about pressing down through your heels. And that's our 10 seconds. When you're ready, coming back to standing. We're running well, friends. We're 2.5 minutes down, a little bit more to go. So with your own pace now, whatever that is, you can follow me. We're going to go for our duck unders again from the top. Now we've got 6 of these. Shifting our weight across to one side, ducking under, coming up the other side. One leg is going to become a bit straighter than the other. You notice the side that's got the weight on it, it's going to stay a little bit bent, and that's okay. Ducking as low as you can go here as well. Doesn't have to be super low. One more. Perfect. Down onto our hands and knees for our fire hydrants. Hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips as best we can feel them. And let's go. Raising out to the side. 1, 2, 3. We're doing 6, 4. With control. So we slowly raise it up, slowly lower it down. 1 more. 6. We swap sides. We're back down to our hands and knees, over onto our backs. We've got our hip bridge / glute bridge. It's all the same thing. We're going to make our butt hold us up. Pressing down nice and firmly through our heels. Our feet are going to be probably around hip width apart, but feel good about finding that spot that's comfortable for you. We gently tuck our pelvis, brace our stomach gently, and press our hips up into the air. Pressing down strongly through your heels here. You want to squeeze your butt as well. You want to feel it back to your legs. Squeezing your butt helps with that. That's it. And we're coming down. Very nice. Coming up to standing. Back at our duck unders. We've got just over 2 minutes to go, friends. Doing really well. Just nice and steady. Again, resting as you need. It's all good. Let's go, shifting to one side. We duck under our invisible tree branch. Keeping our chest up as high as we can. Duckling as low as you feel good about. One more. That's it. Down onto the floor, hands and knees. For our fire hydrants, hands come to under our shoulders, knees to under our hips and about hip width apart. Keeping that bend in our knee as we raise it up. 6 on one side, 6 on the other. That's it. Swapping sides. Nice. That was 6. Coming over onto our backs for our hip bridge / glute bridge. Same thing. Planting our feet, pressing down firmly with our heels. Bringing our hips up just so if we can get high off the ground, keeping them at level here. We don't want to go arching too much, overloads our lower back. That's it. And we're just holding. We've got just over 30 seconds to go, friends. And coming back down. Very good. Let's pull it back up. We've got our duck unders. We'll get a few of these in. Finish us off. Shift across. Down. Back up. That's it. Nice and slow here. We're not rushing. Doesn't matter that we're almost finished. Keeping our pace. 5. 1 more. 6. Boom. We're finished. That is 7 minutes. All done. Again, have a drink of water, catch your breath. We have 1 more 7-minute interval to get through. We'll be right back. Here we are, friends, our last 7-minute interval. Again, in this round, we're going to use the magical green wristwatch to count us down for 7 minutes. In that time, we're going to work through 3 new exercises this time, a bit more focus on our core. We're going to go through a movement called an inchworm. We're going to do a low plank hip raise. That's one of my favorites. And then we're going to do a standard plank. So prepare yourself, friends. We're going to get some serious work happening in our abs. They're going to be rock solid by the end of this. We have 7 minutes. Working our way down, again, working through in your own pace, resting as you need, feeling good about these movements, working as fast and as slow as you can. I will walk you through the first time through, explaining each exercise, and then from there, do what feels good for you. Alrighty, let's start the timer. And we're going to start with our first movement called an inchworm. So we want to start standing. You can have your feet around hip width, I find is a good place. You're going to bend your knees as much as you can until your hands come to the floor. And then from here, you're going to walk yourself out. Walk, 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 walk. Just getting as far as what you feel good about. And then coming back. Walk, 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 walk. Standing up, just like that. Taking your time. Reaching your hands as far forward as you feel you comfortably can. That's 3. We're going to go for 6 here. But again, you don't have to. Work with as many of these as you feel like you want to work with. These ones definitely get the shoulders going as well, which is always a treat. One more. Great. Coming down onto the floor, onto our stomachs for our low plank. Hip raise. So you want to have elbows under your shoulders. You can have your feet together here or apart. It's all preference. I prefer my feet together. That's not for everyone. So find that spot that feels good for you. We're going to brace. So gently pull our elbows towards our toes. Hop ourselves up into this low plank position. From here, you're going to press your hips up into the air. Come back down. Just like this. You can use your elbows here a bit to help press back. That's it. We're going to do 6. So that's 4. 5 and 6. Nice. Coming to our hands and knees because we're going to do a plank. We're going to go for a tall plank here. Which kind of like that quarter turn we were doing just before. So you can be either on your knees or on your toes. Whatever feels good for you. And we're going to hold for 10 seconds. So let's go. Just breathing. You don't want to let your hips sag here, so you want to squeeze your butt. That's it. Knees coming down. Yes, so that's one time through, friends. Working through now at whatever pace you feel like. We've got just a touch over 5 minutes to go. Yes. Starting at the top with our inchworms. We have 6 to work through, or as many as you feel good about. Doesn't matter. Resting as you need as well. You don't have to jump straight back into these. Walking it out and back. Always making sure you're standing up nice and straight at the top as well. You don't want to come to like a half position all the way back. I think this is number 5. We'll do one more anyway. Why not? That's it. Done. Onto the floor now for our low plank hip raise. Coming down onto our stomachs, elbows under our shoulders, toes curled under. We brace, come up into our low plank, and then we just lifting our hips up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Then up onto our hands and knees. Hands around our shoulders. Knees around our hips. And we can either stay from our knees here for our tall plank or step our feet back. Coming up. for our 10-second hold. That's it. Just working through. Squeezing our butts. Knees come to floor. Amazing. Very good. We're doing well. We've got 2 minutes to go. Just less than 2 minutes. Catching our breath if you need again. Rest if you feel good about resting. Don't have to keep on working through like I'm doing. Find your own pace. When you're ready, just jump back in wherever you want to. We're walking it out with our inchworms here. That's it, it's halfway, there's 3. Doing well. 4, 2 to go. Yes. Alrighty, last one. Amazing. Coming down to the floor, onto our stomachs. We've got less than 60 seconds here. Woot. Elbows come to under our shoulders, toes curl under. Brace up. Let's go for 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 6. Oh, that's the way. Oh, I reckon, friends, that is enough. We are right on 7 minutes now. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you were able to work through at a pace that felt good for you. And well done. Well done for jumping in and trying something out like this. I know it can be a little bit scary, a little bit overwhelming, but you did it, friend. Give yourself a high five. You deserve it. And until next video, stay safe, wash your hands, social distance, do all the good stuff, friends. We'll get through this.